feel bad for men in comedy. It's hard. These poor guys, they can't figure out who they can and can't show it to. It tortures them. Like, what, now I can't show it to my sister or my employee? Like, maybe a chart. It's hard, and they can't figure out how old people have to be to see it. Here's a hot tip from me. If you, like, fancy someone, that's what they say in the UK, and you're not exactly sure how old they are, I like to hit out the old social meds. Hit them up. Go back a year. Go back on your Instagram. Go back on your TikTok. Are you looking at a child? That's a good indicator that you should not probably date somebody. If they're on Facebook, don't worry about it. They're 30. And then if that doesn't work, I like to chuck them a set of car keys. Ask them to parallel park. And if they can't do it, they're either not 18 or they're from the East Coast. You shouldn't date them anyway. I don't act like I don't have 20,000 TikTok followers, because I absolutely do. But I also have TikTok haters, because that's what happens. But it's great because they're like 12. And they really, like, they only have so many moves, so they go like, oh, so funny, I forgot to laugh. Buddy, did you think that would work? Like, I'm an adult. Like, I've lost a dad. Like, I've been divorced before. Like, you gotta up your game, brother. Like, someone at some point said, yes, I want to be with you forever, and later he came to me and said, I've changed my mind. Like, a series of opposite day jokes are just not gonna. It's been an exciting time to be a woman. It has been exciting. I've got all these woke friends, Kyle, and like they say stuff like, wow, man, I'm really feeling for you, this whole roast shit. Like, this is bad. Let me know if this sucks for you guys. Let me know if there's anything I can do. You really think this doesn't affect you? Like, do you really think that, like, chicks are gonna be, like, dying to have casual sex when, you know, like, you think that I'm gonna potentially have the father of my child be someone who smokes jewels? Like, you do think thankfully I'm not on the dating arena right now. I met my boyfriend on OkCupid, which is a little bit like old-fashioned now. Like, it's a little bit like saying, like, oh yeah, I met him on the Oregon Trail. How many oxen did you lose? Like, it's getting a little bit dated. But yeah, we moved in during the pandemic because I had the very reasonable fear that I would never see him again. And it was going all right, and then, like, on the 74th day, he said, you know, babe, if you really want a partner who's going to be, like, sensitive to your needs and, like, respectful and gentlemanly, you're going to want to date a paladin. And that's a Dungeons and Dragons thing. And it was, like, too late. Like, he had tricked me. Like, his stuff was already in my house. Like, it's there now. Like, it's still there. I didn't know what to do. It was interesting. He did become a dad over the pandemic, and I don't mean that either of us had kids. He just became a dad. He just started saying stuff like, why are you wasting money on LaCroix? I can make you one on the Soda Stream. It costs pennies, and it's just as good. That kind of dad. You kids and your iPhones. This is a much better phone. So anyway, what about me? I'm a woman. I have body issues. That's like actually how to, you know you're a woman, like you have body issues. If you have body issues, you're a woman. If you're a man with body issues, you might be a woman. You might find out later. But I don't know if you guys did this during the pandemic. I was buying possessions to make it feel like something in my life was happening, right? So I bought a fancy scale, and it does your fat percentage and all that stuff. And I got on it, and I found out, And then I just didn't get on it for a long time. Because I felt like even without math and science, I kind of knew what the trend was. I saw what was happening, I was aware of it, and I just didn't feel a huge need to get on the scale. And so when I got back on the scale goes, an increase in weight has been detected. And then it sent me a text message to confirm that it was me. I put on so much weight, my scale thought it had been stolen. It's wild. It's a wild world. And now we're just not speaking. I don't look at it anymore. I don't go near it. I don't need it. I'm in a place where I sometimes have fans, which is weird. And I did a show, and a girl came up to me and she's like, "Oh my God, I'm such a fan of your TikTok." And I said, "Oh my God, thank you so much." And she said, "Will you come meet my table of friends?" I'm like, "Yeah, for sure." And I go meet them, and she goes, "This is Virginia. She has the funniest joke about wanting to touch her nephew's dick and her sister won't let her." That's not what that joke is. And I was like, wow, now I have to tell the whole joke to this table of people so they know that's not what the joke is. And you guys. But in this case, I did it to myself. Like, I did do it. So I'm not a kid-having person. Like, that's not my gig. I mean, I know kids. I like kids. Like, I've seen them. There's some in my family. But did you know that if you don't have kids, you don't have to recycle? Like, that's just not that's not my job. Like, I don't have to leave the world any better than I came into it. Like, I shall leave with a scorch mark, and little else. So there are nephews, and there's two of them. I like one better than the other one because one of them is biracial, and that makes me feel cool, right? The other one is just white. And like I love him and I like him, but I'm like, do I need him? Like, is he a nice to have or a have to have? Like, anyway, he's fine. I mean, whatever. Not Facebook friends. Anyway, the good one, the one I like, he goes to the doctor for his 8-year checkup, and one of the questions is, who's allowed to touch your privates? And he said, anyone I know. And nobody liked that answer. Nobody, when you go to college, it can be anyone you know, but when you are 8, it needs to be a real tight, curated list, And so my sister got together with the family, and then she calls me, and she was like, okay, here's the list. It's mom and dad, grandma, grandpa, grandma, because grandpa's dead, and you don't want dead people touching it. It's weird. And she goes, that's it. I'm like, that's a great list. I love it. And she goes, are you okay with not being on the list? I'm sorry, am I okay not being on the 8-year-old dick touch list? What made you think that I wanted to be on it? I don't. It is not like being at Studio 54 or that bar in Disneyland everyone freaks out about. Nobody, I don't want it. You can't make me. It shan't happen. Plus, my sister and I, we're really good friends, and I think that if I was with him and we had some sort of a dick touch emergency, I feel like I could call her. Thank you, everybody. I'm Virginia Jones.